everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be making a potted scarecrow arrangement. Really long words. I decided to not even bother making them cute. They're just simple. Anyway, today's project is going to be a scarecrow in a pot. Now we're not going to be using a scarecrow that's already made. Instead we're going to go ahead and build one. And it's going to be kind of a lengthy little project, so if you want to try this, awesome. If not, just watch the video, enjoy it, be inspired, go get yourself an already made scarecrow if you want to just go ahead and just skip through the building of one. But I thought it would be fun to try and find some items and build one. I was at the Home Depot with my husband. We're doing some home improvements, so we were looking around, and he was at the PVC pipes because he's doing some sprinklers. So I was looking at the PVC pipes and, well, my mind just started going all kinds of places. What can I do? So that's where I decided to do a scarecrow. And I grabbed all kinds of pieces, all different sizes, and I grabbed something that I thought would be nice and big. I actually decided that maybe it's a little too big, but I'm going to go ahead and go with it. Okay, I've got the items here. I'm going to show you what my supplies are going to be, and then we can get to creating this scarecrow. And I did make note of the exact sizes or what the item is called, so I'll put that right underneath in captions because I don't remember off the top of my head. I do have it on my phone, but we're just going to go through this real quick. Okay, so what I needed was this little part here. It's like a T-shaped part. Here we go. Description down here, and then I grabbed two of these kind of I don't know if they're 90-degree or what they are, but they're these tubes. The description down below. Okay, and then I also got this long piece of PVC. There we go, description down below. Okay, so those are the items that I got from the Home Depot. The rest of my items are pretty much from the Dollar Tree because I decided, well, I'm going to try and see if I can find everything in the Dollar Tree to make my scarecrow and a pot and everything that I could find from there. Now, you can use any pot. You can even use an old coffee pot or can if you want. You can use an old boot. If you have a pot outside that has a dead plant, take it out, clean out the dirt. Let's use that pot. Anything really. But I happen to have these little tin pots from the Dollar Tree. They are from spring when they put out their plants. They may still have some, I'm not sure, but they may have other ones made out of plastic. You can find any containers, even like a little trash can that are small from the Dollar Tree to use as your container. Really anything. Okay, because we're going to make it look pretty. Okay, we're going to need some styrofoam, so I also got that. This piece is a 2.4 by 2.9 by 7.8 inches. Okay, so it's just a piece of styrofoam. I happen to have one already open, so I'm going to use that. And I think I'm only going to need one, but I got two just in case. Okay, from their fall collection, I found this little decor pumpkin. It's just like a little styrofoam. It's very light, which is awesome because I want to use this for the head of my scarecrow. And then I also got some items because I want to cover the PVC piping, so there's some clothing on my little guy. And I found this little dish towel, this tan dish towel. It's got like little checkered, plaid, whatever you want to call that, checkered pattern on it. I thought that might be cute for maybe his shirt, but I also found a bandana, this navy blue bandana, which I'm going to be using as well. And then I had from my Halloween, I had some leftover, this creepy cloth. So I thought maybe I could incorporate that as well into his clothing. To cover the long pipe, I got this brown burlap ribbon. That's also from the Dollar Tree. Pretty much everything that I'm going to show you now is from the Dollar Tree. So here we go, we got that. I also got some natural colored burlap ribbon, and I got two of these. Actually, I got a ton of these, but I'm going to see if I can use two of these or maybe just one. So there we go. We got some brown and some natural colored one. I got some ribbon. This is a 2.5 inch ribbon, or a number 40 for those of you who are more familiar with ribbons. This is 3 yards, 9 feet. There we go. Nice, pretty brown plaid. I also got this one also with pumpkins because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. It doesn't matter because I'm probably going to use whichever one I don't use for this for some other project. I'm kind of veering towards a plaid one. I'm not sure. And then I got this thinner ribbon. Those are wire edge ribbons, by the way. This one is 5/8 inch width There we go, or wide. So I got that. This little roll has 3 yards as well. Very economical ribbons at the Dollar Tree. They are not the best quality, but they are good enough, okay? They're not really, I probably wouldn't use this if you're going to display your items outdoors where there's a lot of wind and rain. I don't know how well these ribbons stand up. I've been putting them on my front door, but I have a porch covering, so just use whatever judgment you want to use. And of course, these items are only going to be on your door for a short amount of time, so that's up to you. If you want to go ahead and just go get yourself a better quality ribbon, go right ahead. But I do feel like the Dollar Tree ribbon is good enough for these particular types of projects. Okay, I want a hat for my Scarecrow, so I grabbed this straw hat. I'm not going to be using this size. I'm going to try and build a smaller hat out of this. So I got a little straw hat. Now, if you don't want to go through the trouble of this particular way of doing it, you can go to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, maybe even Walmart in their craft department. But at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, they do carry all different sizes of straw hats. So maybe you'll find one that'll fit the particular pumpkin or whatever you use for the head. Okay, I got some decorative items. I've got these 3 little pumpkin clips. These are also from the Dollar Tree, still from the Dollar Tree. I haven't switched anything. These little straw bales, I got 2 of them. I don't know that I'm going to use 2 of them, but I grabbed them. I grabbed them both. I got a package of some natural raffia. This is from their floral area. This is not from their fall. Some of these items that I've been showing you are pretty much from their fall. Also from fall, I grabbed some little bushes of flowers. I grabbed some Gerbera daisies. Let's see, what do I have? What else do I have here? I've got Black-Eyed Susan here. I got another flower here. This is just daisy, it says. A little orange burnt umber daisy. Let's see, I've got little wheat. And I've got some maple leaves. I got 2 of these. These I got them when I was doing the wreath from last week, but I didn't need to use all of it, so I have some left over. I'm probably not going to use all of maybe just one. We'll find out. And then I've got this maple bouquet. It just has some little berries on it, and I think it has like a little squash right there. So that's what that one has. Okay, that's what's different about it. Okay, so I got those. Now I do need some dowel sticks. I think I'm going to be needing them. So I do have some that I purchased from Hobby Lobby some time ago. I don't know if they have any dowel sticks at the Dollar Tree, but really any sticks, even some little branches that you might find outside. You need some little sticks. And here we go. I've got this package here. This is a package of 8. I don't remember how much it cost me, to be honest with you. But anyway, we're going to need that. We're going to need our glue gun with glue sticks, some scissors, wire cutters. I don't know what else we're going to need. Oh yeah, we're going to need some chenille stamp or some floral wire to do our bow that's going to go on our Scarecrow. And we might need it for some other things in there. So you want to have some floral wire or some chenille stems ready. Okay, let's get to crafting. The first thing that we want to do is we want to prepare our container. So I've got my little metal container here, and I've got some styrofoam, and I forgot to mention that we're going to need something to weigh this down because of PVC pipe that's going upward, and the pieces that are going to go at the top are going to be top heavy. So we need to weigh this down. So I've got these little pebbles here. I also got this bag from the Dollar Tree. So in case you're wondering, I did get that from the floral department. I'm going to cut the styrofoam in half because I don't know exactly how much I'm going to need. Okay, I think I'm only going to need 1 part. So what I did is I measured how high it matched up to the top of here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim it just a little bit less, just a tiny bit. There we go. And I'm using just a knife that I also got from the Dollar Tree. Okay, this is going to get glued down inside. So I'm just going to pour lots of glue in there. Push that in. I need more glue, of course. There we go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw some of these little stones in there. Actually, I have one already open over here. So let me see if this makes it. Heavy enough. Okay. I think I need a little bit more, so I'm going to go ahead and open this one. I like how these are double bagged. Smart. I need to open up 2. Okay. Okay. So really maybe just 1 bag because the other one was kind of half. And then I used the other half of this. And this is, I think it's okay. Let's find out. Here's my PVC pipe. This is going to go into my styrofoam. I'm just going to put some glue along here so it just kind of drizzles all over and smears all over the place and sticks to that foam. So let's find out here. Stick it in as far down as you possibly can. Why do I want styrofoam? I want styrofoam not only to stick this in, but to stick all my floral parts. And this is where I want to make sure that everything is glued really well. So you're going to use a lot of glue. And that little bags of rocks are only $1, so don't worry about that cost. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and trim this little piece into two, because what I want to do is I want to slide it on both sides here to make it all nice and tight. So we're going to pour some more glue here, glue on the sides, lots and lots of it, more than what I'm doing. Okay. The glue cannot melt fast enough for me. Okay, now the other side. Now don't completely cover the top of these because you're going to be sticking stems in there. You don't want glue to be in the way. I'm just going to trim this one just a little bit. Or actually, I'll use this thinner side. Well, I'll trim it a little bit anyway. It's a little too thick. Okay. Pour some glue down the sides here. Make sure that it glues onto something. Okay. All right. There we go. Now you could cover all this up with moss. I'm just lifting it up, making sure that it is dry. We're going to move that out of the way. Okay. Let's bring this back. We're going to take some of this, what is this again? Burlap ribbon. And it starts right here. Now make sure you open up all your packaging. I usually open up all my packaging, and I did, except these ribbons. I don't know why. But anyway, we're going to move that out of the way. And I'm just going to cover this up. You don't have to cover it up, but we're decorating it, so that's what I'm doing with this. Okay, so I'm just going to find and decide that over here is going to be the back. So I'm just putting this on here. It doesn't really matter if it's the back or the front. Okay. So I'm just putting that on there. And I'm pretty much doing it to cover the letters because they look kind of springy. It's kind of like a springy kind of a message on there, and I don't want it to be spring. Okay, so now just bring it around, cut a little bit extra, and add some more glue there, but I'm also going to add a little bit of glue here so that it sticks here in the front. There we go. These loose pieces, we can just take them off, no big deal. And then bring it around to the back and more glue back here, and then just glue the end down. This little bit here is bothering me, so I'm just going to glue it down. This one over it like that. Here we can use this to press it down. Okay, there we go, just like that. You can put more if you want, if you feel like you want more. We could take this little ribbon, this little thin ribbon, and add another one on there if we wanted. So let's go ahead and do that so we can see how pretty that looks. Just a little piece. Oops, gotta go all the way around to the top. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut it about the size. Try not to cut too much, just barely more than it will fit. And I'm gonna put this right in the middle. Put that in there. I'll bring it around. And then just glue it down. I was going to grab my wire cutters. Let's glue this down a little bit more. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to glue that other end. There we go. This is where I ended up gluing it at the back. And the front and the sides right there. Okay, so that's what we want. And now we've got our stick on here. Now we're going to build up at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and move my camera. Wait, let's put together the little body. Yes, let's do that. Of course, if you're watching this video, that means it's turned out okay. I'm really nervous because I don't know if it's going to work out. Okay, so these pieces, I have to glue them to the end. Now, if you wanted to spend the extra money, you could buy little connections where you can put PVC pipes together and, you know, glue them down that way. I'm not using PVC glue. I'm just going to be using my hot glue gun. Okay, you can use an E6000 if you want. Okay, so, but I'm just going to glue them end to end. And in order to make sure that they are glued together, I'm going to cut pieces of dowel. So I'm just going to cut this with my wire cutters in half and then in half again. So I have 2 sticks for one. How long were these dowel sticks, if you were wondering? They're 12-inch. Of course, you could find just one long piece and cut them up. And since I've got 4 pieces, they're 3 inches each. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue half of the stick or whatever fits in there, because it's got a little groove in there. So I can only put it in so far. Okay, I'm gluing that in there. And one up on the opposite side. Let's see, these look the same like that. Okay, so I'm going to do the same to the other one. And then here. Okay, and this is smooth all the way through, kind of. Okay, so now I'm going to I want to put lots of glue in there, actually. Make sure those little sticks don't move around. I'm going to put lots of glue, and you know what? I'm going to come back because I'm going to let that dry really well. Oops. All I'm going to do now is also put glue on here, slide this in there, and glue that, and then also put glue on the edges. And don't worry if it seeps out, because this is all going to get covered, okay? So then I'm just going to put glue like that. So let me do one real quick just for you here. I just wanted these to dry first because the little sticks are moving around, and I don't want them to do that because I want to make sure that, you want to make sure that they're gluing to the inside. So you want to make sure that this is glued here and dry before you put them in there, because once you slide it in there, they move around and they may not actually be glued onto here, and you don't know that because it's all covered. As a matter of fact, I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter. Let me do. Okay, you're watching something being in progress here because it's an idea. Again, another one of my ideas that I didn't test out first. Let me go ahead and glue that in for you. Oops, this is the part that's going to get glued down. Okay. Slide it in. And then more glue on the edges. Like so. Turn it around. It's all dusty from the raffias and a wreath that I did a few days ago. Okay. Okay. Just making sure. See, through here I can see that, you know, the sticks are, you know, attached to this other piece. But once I put the other one, I won't know. So I want to make sure this is dry so they don't, you know, accidentally fold inward on me and then they're not actually gluing on here. So anyway, this is on there. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so then I'm just going to do this one, and I will be back with a better angle for you. Okay, I realize this is going to be a really tall project, so I may end up putting this on something else down here. But I think for now this is okay. Okay, I put together all these pieces, lots of glue on the edges and on the little sticks. I did trim the other sticks on the other little arm as well, or the joint, whatever you want to call it. Because I felt like the 3 inches maybe was too long, and there's some areas where the inside of the PVC pipe kind of goes up, so I had to trim them just to fit into the flat part, if you get that, the level part. Okay, so now we want to put this up here, but we're not just going to stick it in there, okay? We're going to go ahead and put some glue up here at the top, and I actually thought about this, guys, but I just don't know if it's going to work, so I'm really nervous about this. Okay. Only because I thought it was a really great idea, and I hope it works out. Okay, so now just want to glue it I'm hoping it's actually hitting something up there. Okay, what I could do is I could cut some little pieces of styrofoam and slide them in there. So any little bits, little scraps. I actually do have a little scrap piece here. Let's see. Probably smaller than that, or thinner, I should say. There you go. Make all kinds of faces as I cut it. I'm going to slide that in there. Lots of glue. Trying not to burn my finger as I do this. There we go. That's to keep it from wobbling around, because it is doing a little wobbly bit here for me. Let it just drip down. No big deal. Put this under it. Anything that drips down is going to drip into my pot here, so I don't care. All right. And I've got a little fan on because, oh, you can't even see what I'm talking about. Let the glue just drip because it's dripping down straight into the pot anyway. But I did put something underneath anyway. Okay. Okay. And I do have to put a little fan on because I'm super hot. Because I'm super nervous. Okay. I'm going to now put another piece of styrofoam on the other side. I put some glue on it. Let's see, maybe that's too thick. Yeah, we'll slide into the side here and just poke it in there. There we go. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to cover this particular part of my, let's move this way so he's not, there we go. Let's put some little bit of glue in there so he doesn't, or a little piece of styrofoam in there so he doesn't move around. And just trim that off like that. Just break it off. Put another piece on this other side. Okay. So basically we've just stuffed it so it doesn't move around. And I'm checking the weight. It's fine. He may be a little wobbly, but he's not going to topple over on me. I think he's fine. If you don't feel secure about it, go ahead and add some more little pebbles in there. Okay. I'm going to cover this part, as I said, and I'm going to use this brown burlap ribbon to just cover the post here. So I'm going to put some glue here in the back where I'm going to get started and just start wrapping around, going downward, and just pull it a little tight. Make sure it's dried up here where it's grabbed on before you pull on it, to make sure that you know, you don't pull the whole thing off. And every so often just add a little bit of glue. As I'm wrapping it around, I'm overlapping. I don't know if I said that, but just saying it again. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it all the way down, and when I get to the bottom, I'll trim off the burlap ribbon. And I'll show you what I did there. That's what I'm doing, I'm still wrapping around. All the way down to the bottom, okay? You don't have to go all the way to the very, very bottom because it's going to get covered with flowers and such. So I'm going to stop here, put some glue, and then just trim the ribbon. See the piece right here? Let me see on this wall here. Little piece right here. That's the end. And I glued some of it down, so I'm just going to glue the rest of it so it's not flopping around like that. Okay, so we've got the bottom of the post covered up in burlap. This is going to be his legs. If you want to use 2 PVC pipes, 2 little thin ones, and do 2 legs, that's a cute idea. Just make sure they fit into, you know, they both fit into there. I did buy a smaller one because I thought maybe I'll do a smaller scarecrow, but I went ahead and decided that I'm going to go for the big one. Okay, so now I want to get some raffia to come out here because these are his arms, and I want some raffia coming out of here. And I've got the raffia right here. And let's see. I probably want about, I don't know, 6-inch pieces, 6-inch length pieces. All right, let me trim off a few. Let me get that off here. I'm going to trim off about 6 inches here. Yep, that's about 6 inches, 6-7 inches. Okay, so then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and glue these inside the inside of these little arms, if you will. Now, I'm going to bring the camera down because I think I'm going to lay this down to do that project so I don't have glue dripping down. Okay, so, or you could also add this on here before you actually put it up on top of here, you know, while you have it on your table. Glue all your little raffia. And I thought about that, but I said, nah, let me go ahead and put it in there. So let me go ahead and move the camera and we'll do that. All right, I've gone ahead and I put raffia on both ends here so that I have, you know, my little strawy hands coming out of my Scarecrow. This is a great idea for Halloween if you want to dress it up a little more Halloweenish. I'm going to use it for fall, so I want him to be cute. All right, so now I'm going to put a head up in the top. And then we're going to create a hat for that. Yes, we're going to do that. Okay, but before I put it on there, I'm going to go ahead and move my camera down now again so that we can build this hat and cross our fingers that it all works out. All right, so let's do that. All right, so we have our straw hat here, and of course he's too big for our little pumpkin head right here, so we want to make it smaller. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, how is this on here? Is it glued on? Probably. Well, you know what? I'll leave it on and then I'll just cover it up. Okay, so I want to make it smaller, so I'm going to go to the back here and I'm going to just trim upward to the center of the top of the hat, because I don't know if this idea is going to work, but I'm hoping, and I'm hoping that all I got to do is overlap it a little bit. I might have to do some trimming. Let's see, bring you back. That'll fit. Okay, so what I did is I cut it, as you can see. Let's take this little label here off. Get off, thank you. Okay. All I did was cut it in half, as you can see, all the way down to the top center of the hat. And then I'm doing is I'm overlapping it over itself. And then just finding the right size. So that's all I'm doing. And that would be nice and tight over it like that. I think that's good. I don't mind the height of the hat, the top. We could shorten that, but I'm not going to do it because I think that would be an unnecessary step. Okay. This is super easy just to do it this way, so I'm going to do that. But I'm going to trim off a little bit of the excess here, just so it's not so bulky at the back there. Okay, let's try this again. And just a little bit there. And one more time. Yep, okay. So once you've decided where it's okay to overlap, then go ahead and glue those bits together. I'm going to glue down the brim part of it first because I want that to align. Just put some protection underneath my little silicone pads here. Okay, so now I'm going to put these brims together first. La la la, of course now I'm having trouble. There we go. Put the ends together, this part here. A little bit of glue there. So I want to put those ends together first. Okay. And then the rest of it should just fall in place. Yep, it does. So now I'm just going to put some glue going down this little edge here. I don't know why this is making me think of Bruno Mars. Okay, let's put this little hat here. I think in one of his videos he has a, or not just in his videos, but I think quite often he sports a little hat like this. Okay, we are going to then put some glue going upward and closing that up. I reach from underneath to make sure that it is all sticking down to itself or to each other. There we go, those ends. A little bit more glue in there. I'm going to use my knife to push down this time because I don't want to get hot glue on my finger. There we go, which I've already done, so who cares. Anyway, there we go. Just let that dry, and we've created a smaller hat here. How cute. Okay, there we go. And it fits just fine over this little pumpkin head. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Now, it's not a traditional big old giant straw hat, but I think it works just fine. Okay, now we want to decorate the hat so that we don't have this little brim. I think I'm going to use the brown, which I used on the pants, because I think that'll hide this part even more. If you want to go through the trouble of removing all this, go right ahead. But I feel like if I did that, it was just going to just pull on the threading that's keeping these little bits together, because it's like little, see, like little pieces like this, and then they would just form sewn together to create the hat. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this one here to hold that down. Okay, so I'm going to start in the back here, just like I did the pole. Put a little bit of glue. Set the end of my ribbon in there. There we go. Push it in. If you hear a little noise, I don't know if I mentioned, I had to turn on a little fan. I am so hot because I'm nervous about this. Okay, now we're just going to put this all the way around. Put a little more glue here in the front to hold that ribbon in place. And then all the way to the back, and then just trim off where it overlaps just a bit. And we're going to put more glue there. Alright, let's get some more of this glue right here. There we go. Like that. And then of course we can take this other ribbon here and put another little strip around it, which I'm going to do. And I'm going to put some little dots of glue here, here, to hold this down into the shape of the hat. There we go. Like that. So the brim, that's not flopping around. You could trim this also, make it a lot, you know, thinner. And then maybe you just go around twice with it, so you make sure you cover whatever else was on there. I'm going to go halfway as well, like I did on the pot here, but then, you know, I used a different raffia. As a matter of fact, look, I need to put a little bit of glue there to keep that ribbon right there in the middle. Okay? Alright, just got to do that, just a little touch there. Now, it is a little top heavy. You can put some more rocks in there because mine wanted to topple over, and that's because I put it on an uneven surface. But just be careful with it. Okay, I'm going to cut this just a little bit longer. I still got a little bit of ribbon left. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down like that so this stays down. Pull this tight. There we go. Slide this upward. Let's put some glue right here as well. Bring this up. Right here in the front. Let's put a little bit of glue there too. Just a tiny bit, just to grab it. There we go. And then we'll decorate some more once it's on our scarecrow. So now we know that our hat fits. It looks perfect. So now, let's glue our pumpkin to the top here on our little shoulders that we've created. And again, I gotta move the camera. All right, everyone, so now what I wanna do is I wanna decorate the body of my scarecrow as we did our little hat here. We're gonna put it at the very end because I wanna just kind of finish it off with the hat. Okay, so to decorate my body, I've got a dish towel here, I've got a bandana, and then I had this cloth, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to use, so I'm just going to take this bandana and kind of measure. I'm going to measure across. This does fit over his body just as I wanted it to, and the length is fine. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use a bandana. I don't used to use a dishcloth, so now you know not to. You don't have to purchase that unless you want to use that instead. Okay, but first I want to put some of this little gauzy, creepy fabric. You don't have to do this step. I kind of want to do it. Let's see, how big is this? Okay, this is as big as it is, so I think I might just use the whole bit. Yeah, okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut upward It's folded, by the way. I'm going to cut upward on half of it, just to the center fold here. I'm not going to cut the other side, just one side. And I'm going to cut upward on that. Let me do that now. Oh yeah, by the way, you want to fold it and make sure it's centered. I didn't even do that, but that's okay. I'm just going to continue. This is actually folded in 4, not twice. So I'm going to go ahead and go with that. It makes it double the fabric. Oops. So this is what I did. See? I cut down. This was one piece like that, and I cut it just down halfway. And then I can just drape this over my Scarecrow. Okay, so then what I want to do, so bring these together, bring the waist together here, these bits. There we go. Kind of want to create that look. Okay, so now I can get a chenille stem. That's why I wanted the chenille stems. Grab one. It doesn't matter what color. And just wrap it. Now this is, what you're looking at is the front of the Scarecrow. If you want the fabric opening to be on the back, on the back, yeah, let's do that. Let's switch this over because this is actually the front of my Scarecrow, and I don't want this, even though I could glue this down. I kind of want that to show. So I want the fabric, that fabric to show. So I'm just gonna flip it around. Just bring this off of here and do this. How's that? Okay, the bandana, I will have it open in the front. But this one, I want it open in the back. Well, not open in the back, but just, I don't want the opening in the front. Okay. Put it together again. We'll go up kind of high. I think I'm going, here we go. Just make sure that the lengths kind of match. You know, whatever you got hanging in the front kind of matches what you have hanging in the back here. Okay, so now we can go ahead and put this chenille stem around its waist, or her waist, whatever you want it to be. Okay. And we're just going to make it twisted and just roll it up into itself. And I kind of like this thing hanging downward. If you want to trim it, you can. And I think I am going to trim it because I don't like it to be so straight. And there's a fold right here. So I'm just going to trim it because I want it to be raggedy. You know, because we put this Scarecrow together to put out there to scare the crows, and we just used whatever we could find in the garage or whatever to make this, and we just covered it with tons of fabric to make him full. So that's basically the idea here. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull this down to his little sleeves here to cover that. Now, you could go ahead and take some of this burlap and cover his little arms all the way up if you want. I'm just going to use a little bit of it. So I'm going to lift this up a little bit. Put some of this burlap just on the edge here. And I'm just going to cut enough to go all the way around. Alright. I'm hungry. I just realized that right now that I'm real hungry. Okay. I had to motivate myself this morning to get up and do my craft. So I came in here and I got all my supplies pulled out, which, you know, I had purchased a couple of weeks ago, so I couldn't exactly remember what I had bought to do what. So I was kind of like looking at things and decided, okay, I remember I bought this for the Scarecrow. And whatever I don't use, I can use it on something else. Okay, so we're doing the same on the other side. Right? So we want to wrap those ends. Let me bring it down so it's covering the white PVC. The edges. Just like that. Can you see him already coming together? I feel like, you know, he's already coming together. So now I'm just going to pull this fabric over it a little bit and just let that raffia ribbon show a little bit. I'm getting bits stuck to my fingers because I've got glue on them. Just slide this over carefully. Like that. But not all the way. You don't want to cover the ends there. Look at that. I think he's looking really nice, and he's looking kind of creepy, you guys. So they have this creepy cloth in black at the Dollar Tree as well. So if you want to choose it in black and do it for Halloween, that'll be awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead and put this bandana on him now. And as you can see, it's a little shorter than the other fabric, so this is going to show off at the bottom. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut down the center on half of it because this is folded in half. Okay? So I'm going to cut down the center of one of the halves right to the center fold. And the center's pretty much marked here because it was folded like so in the mark. And the fold mark is there. So that's what I'm going to cut along, but just on one half. Just up to the middle. Okay. So there we go. That's what I cut right here. Now I'm going to drape that open part up to the front. But what I'm going to do here is I'm also going to cut a little bit into here because I want this to be a little bit wider because I want it to go around his head. This fabric is kind of, you know, stretchy and so forth, so it maneuvers really nicely. I can pull on it and it just is fine. So I'm just going to do little cuts basically where I had it folded and I opened it right here. Little cuts going down on this other fold, just a little bit, just so that it goes around the pumpkin head. Okay, so let me show you. I cut down like that, and then I cut down right here. Can you see that? Little fan's moving it, so there we go. It was like that, and now it's like that. Okay, I'm going to put that over the shoulders. Make sure that fits. Oh, and it does. So I'm just going to bring it around so I can look at his front here. And this is where you can decide if you want him to have little lapels. Either you want this to fold over to the front or just fold that in. I think I'm going to fold it in. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Fold it in. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to gather it at the waist. So I'm grabbing the back part and then these front bits here as well. Let me take a look. Let me lift it up a little bit because I want it to be, I want that other fabric showing. So I'm actually going to fold that edge. This is what I'm doing is I'm taking this edge here, folding it under so that it's higher than that other cloth here. I want that to show here. Not only do I want the burlap, but I also want this fabric showing. Okay, I feel like I can maneuver it once I have it tied, but just making sure. Okay, so now I'm going to take another chenille stem and tie him up at the waist, making sure this is all gathered nicely. There we go. Let me look at the front. And I've been pulling on this cloth here, so I'm just going to pull it back up. Okay, there we go. Just maneuver your fabric nicely. I'm going to take another chenille stem, wrap around. I'm just going to kind of lightly tie it because that way it gives me a little space to move the fabric up and down if I have to. So I'm just fixing him up so the little bandana looks nice. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right up in on the PVC part so this little cloth can fold out because I was pulling it downward when I was tying it down with the chenille stem at first. So I'm just going to put some glue there, kind of fold it up a little bit and push it in. Okay, so let me show you up close what it's looking like. So you can see there how I wanted to maneuver the fabric so that it's you know, folded nicely and it's gathered nicely. I'm going to turn it around slowly so that you can see how it goes over the arm here and then around to the back. Just try to do it as nicely as you can. Okay, so now that I know that he's how I want him, I can go ahead and tighten the chenille stem nice and tight. Just twist it some more, really. And then I'm just going to roll the little edges and push them up against the fabric. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to take some raffia. Let's see, a nice long piece. That's why I got this package of... Let me grab another roll of this raffia. It had 3 little rolls like this. So I'm just going to take another one. There we go. Just going to tie it. And grab a couple or maybe 3 bits of raffia like that. And I'm going to wrap it around his waist. I don't know how long I need it, so I'm just grabbing the whole bit. And then just tie it on his waist. Tie it up. Make a bow if you want. I'm going to do that. Why not? I'll turn him around. You can see what I did. Okay. And then just fix his little coat. And I'm going to trim these ends here. I kind of like the raffia that I get at Hobby Lobby or Michael's even, because it's a little bit softer. And this was like really hard, and because they rolled it together like that, these folds kind of stay. You know, it stays in this folded shape. But the raffia that you get like from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, it'll just hang nicely. So that's up to you if you want to spend a little bit extra on your raffia, because it goes a long way. A big package of raffia goes a long way. Okay, so there you go. I made a little bow on his waist. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Okay, so I think I said it's your choice if you want to decorate the face, if you want to put anything on there. The next thing that I want to do is I do want to put some raffia around the neck. And I kind of want little pieces sticking out so that these, let's see, maybe about 3-inch pieces of raffia. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm just going to glue it, tuck it underneath all the way around the neck. So I'm going to go ahead and get it started here so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm just going to go off camera and do the rest. Some of these pieces, like this one, is folded. This little piece was folded right here. So I just put glue on the little fold and I'm just going to stick that in there. Make sure it catches onto something. Okay, let me look at it. Okay. Alright. So you get an idea of what I'm doing right there. And just keep tucking in pieces of raffia underneath, and then at the end you can decide that if they're a little too long, you can go around and trim around. So let me go ahead and do that and I'll be back. Alright, I'm back, and he now has his little necklace, his little straw necklace there, or tie, whatever you want to call it. He's got some straw sticking out at the top. I think that looks really cute. So now what I want to do is I want to go and decorate the bottom part of my little arrangement. So I'm going to bring the camera down so that you can see how I do that. You want to go ahead and remove any little glue webs at this point, which is I have been doing like crazy. So anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring the camera down. We're going to decorate the pot to make it into an arrangement, and then we'll top them off. And this will be a finished project. We're almost done, and we'll be back. Alright, so now I want to decorate the bottom of my pot. So I've got all my flowers here, my leaves, and I've got a little straw bale here, or a little hay bale that I'm going to put into my arrangement. I've also got some little pumpkins that I want to put on there, and I've got a ribbon. And I've decided to go ahead and go with the brown plaid because I feel it goes with the colors, and I think it coordinates really well. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use brown plaid to create a bow for the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and put this straw bale in here, and I'm going to put it kind of off to the side here. For this, I should have mentioned a few items, and I did not do that. I'm going to use some floral picks, or you can use the dowel sticks if you still have, if you bought one long one and you have pieces still. I'm going to use these little floral picks. These come with a wire on them. I'm not going to use the wire part. I'm actually going to take that off. But I'm going to stick this into my hay bale so that then I can stick them into my arrangement. And of course it won't have to be that long because remember there is pebbles down there. All I want is something that helps me secure the hay. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to say the hay. This little hay into my arrangement. And I want to put a bow off to the side so I can decide that I want this here and a bow here. But I think I'm going to go with it off to the side and then a bow right here. Just because, I don't know. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue on the stick. Kind of there in the middle. I think I just need one. I don't think I need 2 sticks. Just push it in as far as it will go. Okay, so now I'm going to trim them, and I'm going to use my wire cutters to trim. I'm just going to leave maybe 2 inches. I don't know how far down those pebbles are. So now I'm just going to put some glue all over. Let's get some glue in here. This is going to make a mess, by the way. I'm going to put some glue right in there and at the bottom of my hay, like so. Okay. Try not to touch it. And then just push it into the styrofoam. And he's going in kind of a little bit of an angle, which I kind of like. There we go, just like that. Just kind of hanging over. Okay, so now I'm going to make a bow with this ribbon, and this is 3 yards, but this is a really small arrangement, so I don't need 3 yards of ribbon to do this. Let's go ahead and grab another chenille stem here, and I'm just going to cut half of it, and that's all I'm going to use. Okay, let's trim off this little bit where they folded it, and it's just not going to look nice. I'm just throwing everything on the floor. I just sweep it all up later. Okay, so I don't need that long of a tail because it's not a very big arrangement. So I'm just going to go with the length or the height of the pot to decide where I want my bow. And then of course I go in a little bit where it's going to rest. So about that long, and that is about 8 inches long, the typical length that I use for a bow. Okay, so I'm just going to pinch and twist. And in my last video I went ahead and I linked how to make handmade bows. And so they're there. And I will try and do that again for this. All you gotta do is go to my channel and just where it says search on the top of my page, just key in, you know, handmade bows or handcrafted or creating handmade bows or basic bow making. I think I also have. I think I'm only gonna do 4 loops. I don't need that much. I don't need that big of a bow, is what I wanted to say. Okay, so I still have ribbon left over. And this is, what, 8 inches, and these are about 8 inches going like that. So we've got 16, 32, what is that with another 16? I can't even add. Is that 48 or 58 or something like that? Okay, I don't know. I'm sure I did that, 54 maybe. Okay, my math is not very good. 54 inches of ribbon is probably like a... Let's see, let me just guesstimate. This is about 1.5 yards of ribbon, okay? So I still have about 1.5 yards left. Let me see. 1, yeah, that's 1.5. I always measure a yard from one shoulder, from my shoulder joint to my fingers folded up like this as I'm holding it. That's 1 yard, that's 36 inches, and then I have about half of that still left. So that's 1.5 yards. So my guesstimation on this bow is correct. Okay, so now that I've got that on there, I'm going to go ahead and twist this chenille stem behind my bow onto this little stick. And again, I want to cut that, and I probably could have used that little piece that I cut off, but I don't know where it went. I'm going to trim that off as well. I'm going to put glue right here where the chenille stem is on the stick, and then some more down here when I decide to poke it in. But first, let me do this. Glue that here. I'm going to let that dry for a bit. I'm going to put it over to the side. Let's see. Let that dry. Now I've got these little pumpkins, and these pumpkins are really cute. They have these little clippy things on them where you could just clip them on to anything and just make a really cute little decor. You can't even see what I did. You can just clip them onto anything and they'll make a cute little decor. On one of these, I'm going to go ahead and take it off, and I can use it for something else because I'm just going to glue it to the top of my arrangement right here. My little hay bale. I can't even say it, guys. On my hay. Okay. And just off, I don't want it centered. I'm just going to do it off-centered. You could do all three. I'm going to go ahead and do another one as well. Let's push this over more to the side because I want to put this one kind of like that. Okay, another thing you could do is you could take a little piece of these little floral sticks or a little dowel stick, little thin ones. You can poke them in because these are styrofoam. I put a little bit of glue on there, like that. And then they're easy to poke into arrangements or like into styrofoam like this if I wanted to put one over to the side. But I'm going to stick it into my hay. There we go. Making sure the stick is actually going in and not coming out the other end of the pumpkin, which that one I was almost doing. I'm going to save the other one because I want to use it up here somewhere on my guy here. Okay, my bow is sort of kind of dry right here, so I can go ahead and safely now touch it because it's cooled down. I'm going to put some glue on the stick, and as close to the bale of hay covering up that styrofoam, I'm going to put a bow. Now you could put some moss here and cover up the styrofoam. Okay, so now I'm just doing is I'm just poofing my bow, twisting it around, and just poofing it. Little ends here folded inward, little edges, so I'm just pulling those. There we go. That's what the bow looks like. I think it looks really pretty. Okay, so now we want to add some pretty flowers into our arrangement. So I'm going to take these orange ones. And again, prepare your stuff. I didn't do it. My goodness. Remove all your labels. Cut the flowers off from the bush so that you have stems. And cut them at the longest point because you don't know how long you want them. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of these. I like the way this one is kind of straight. I'm going to grab one of these. And all I'm going to do is bend the little flower a little bit so that it's facing forward, and then I can put it into my arrangement on the side here. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. You don't have to do that, you can just stick them in. I'm going to put that right in there, push it in as far as I can. This one is right over my little bow here. Okay, I want another one on the other side. I'm going to do the same thing, bend the top of it just a little bit. Get my glue gun over here. Actually, you'd be using my little pot. You'd probably use it during Christmas. Okay, put another flower back here, pushing it in as far as I can so that it's right behind my little pumpkins. I want another one sticking out the side here. So I'm just going to trim the stick a little bit. This one I don't really need to bend the flower. You can if you want. One more on the other side. And I'm slanting it as I'm pushing it in. Back here. And so now I just want one flower right here, and I'm just going to make it as tall as I can. Put it in there. Fold it outward. Just so that the back of your arrangement isn't all, you know, not decorated. Okay. Now, I don't think I need any more flowers. I think it looks pretty. We'll see. We might use these. Let's put these over to the side. I'm going to go ahead and use these maple leaves. I think they're so pretty. I love the colors on it. Let's trim off, again, the stems off the bush. Make them individual stems. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in where I don't have any flowers. That in there. Some of these leaves get kind of bent around, so these are really inexpensive items from the Dollar Tree, so it doesn't hurt to buy one extra just in case. If you think you need 2 bushes, buy 3. Just, you know, the more you want, the more bushes you need, the more extras you should buy. I mean, if you're already buying that many, why not? Okay, so I'm going to put that one also back here to fill that in. And I'm going to cut up another one, and I'm going to go ahead and fill in, but I also need some greenery up here in the front. So let's do that. Just see my floor. Oh, I'm wearing socks, so I can just imagine how much of that straw that I've been throwing down is going to get on my socks. Alrighty, let's push these little leaves upward a little bit. I'm going to go right between this flower, get some styrofoam, make sure I'm hitting some. There we go. That looks pretty. Right there in the front. Right here. Okay, let me get one that's a little reddish. Put it between these two flowers. Kind of also behind that bow. Bring one of the leaves down under the flower. I'm going to do one on the other side. And then I'm going to fill in this little bit here. But I want to put one between these two flowers. Some leaves. Here we go. Let's go with this one here. I don't know why. I'm just calling my name. Between these two guys. Push it in. Like that. See how the front is now full? Now we have some little spots here in the back. We want to fill in those. So now there's rocks in there, so you might have to trim your little stems. So I'm trying to get it into just the styrofoam, but I might hit some rocks, some little pebbles. So if you can't push it in, it's because you're hitting some pebbles, so trim. And just push in that little bit. Okay, I've still got some more greenery, so I'm going to put one down here because I can see that styrofoam. And let's trim that nice and short because there's pebbles right there on that edge. A little bit of glue. And slide it right in there. Right up against the styrofoam. And then just kind of twist things around so the leaves are kind of covering and you don't see, you can't look in. There you go. That looks really nice. I'm going to put this last little one here, kind of between the bow and the hay right there. Put that right in there. So I get some of these leaves also here on the side. Okay, I'm trying to kind of bend the bow a little bit so that it's not like sticking out so far out, the little tails. There we go, I stuck some leaves there. Let's see. I've got a piece here left over. And I have some space here that I can kind of see the styrofoam. So I'm just going to stick it in there, cut it nice and short. Stick it in there and hide all that. Alright, now that is pretty much done. I'm going to trim this cloth just a little bit so that it's not quite hitting the flowers. Not only that, but I also want to see some of that brown burlap that I wrapped around the pole. So I'm just like trimming it off, kind of not necessarily straight. Okay, just trim off some of this here. All right, that looks good. At least I think it does. Haha. Okay, now I can see the burlap. It's not on top of the flowers. It's not hitting the flowers and looking all messy. There we go. Now I've got a whole bunch of flowers left over. I'm not going to use these. I'm going to save them for something else. But I do like these little wheat ones. So let me grab a couple of these and stick them in there just for the heck of it. Let me cut off a couple. And I'll save the rest for something else. Let's see. I think that might be enough. And just stick it right in there so that it kind of, you know, pops off the side here. One on the other side. A little more forward than that one. There we go. Let me push it in a little bit more. There we go. Okay, that's the bottom part of my arrangement. I think it looks really nice. There you go, so you can see that. I just got to get these little threads off. And now we're going to move up to the top so we can finish up our Scarecrow and top him off with a hat. But let me do something real quick with the hat. Right here. I had a little bit of this other ribbon left over. Where is it? There we go. The one that I used to wrap around right here and then also on my hat. I want to make a little bow with it and put it off to the side. So I'm just going to take like a little tail and make a few loops. And I'm just going to twist, loop, and twist. And I think I'm going to make maybe 5 loops. Don't make them so big because they get floppy. Because this is not a wire-edged ribbon. This is a, what do you call this? I know the name. It's at the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. Oh, corrugated ribbon. And it's always so hard to make little bows out of it. But they look pretty. Okay, so I'm just cutting the little edges kind of at a little angle here so they're not like straight cut, but you can have them straight cut, no big deal. Okay, so all I'm doing is just tying that chenille stem, and then I'm going to roll up the chenille stem. Okay, just roll it up into like a little ball right up against the bow, and then I'm going to put lots of glue right there. And I'm going to put it on the opposite side because I have a bow here, so I'm putting it, this is going to go on top of the head. I'm putting it on the opposite side. Now we can take our little the other little pumpkin that we had. We can either clip it on, because again it has that little clip. We could clip it on, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take that little thing off, put the little pumpkin right in the middle of the bow right there. Okay, so you don't want big floppy bow loops, but you do want them to be big enough to come out from the back of the, you know, the pumpkin. So there we go. That's what I did on the hat. It looks so cute. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's move the camera up so we can see what our little arrangement is going to be looking like. Alright, so before I top off my Scarecrow, I just want to let you know that I did get the little package of raffia, and it was a package of 3. I only used 2. I have a little bit left over of one of them, so I've got a whole one left over, so that's a really good deal. These little burlap ribbons, I only used 1 package of the tan one, and I have a lot left over, and I still have some of the brown left over, so I only used 1 of each. And of course my ribbon, I only used half of my ribbon, so that's still some left over, and I still got a little bit of this thinner ribbon left over. So this is a great deal on making this particular project. And of course I didn't need to use my little kitchen towel, so now you know you only need maybe a couple of things, or if you only just want to put 1 type of fabric on there. Maybe you have scraps of fabric at home. You could also save yourself some money on going that route. And anyway, here's my Scarecrow. Let's go ahead and top him off. I decide where the glue has to be on this hat. Okay, so I'm just putting it on there, and I'm going to put some back here on this part of the hat and a little bit in the front part. There we go, on the inside, not on the brim. Okay, so now carefully place them back on here. There we go. Can you see him? There's the hat. Let me take a look at him from the front. And I think I want him in a little bit more this way. There we go. I love it. He's a little bit, the hat's a little bit off to the side, so I kind of like that too. I'm just pulling it forward a little bit more because I wanted to hide more of the pumpkin. I don't want too much of the pumpkin showing because I'm not decorating that. I just want it to be there for effect as a head. Okay, so there we go. I finished up my Scarecrow. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up. I hope that you will give me a big old thumbs up, and that you will be inspired to create something like this. As I said, I was walking through the Home Depot and I got inspired by some PVC pieces. So there you go. Leave a nice comment down below. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and hit the little notification bell next to the subscribe button so that you will be notified when I put up my videos. I do put them up on Tuesdays and Fridays. From here on, it's going to be pretty much just crafts. I may slip a recipe video here and there. I just don't have a lot of time, and I think the craft videos are doing really good right now. That's what people want to see. So that's what I'm doing. And again, share on your social medias. And as always, enjoy.